Have you ever looked in the mirror and caught your reflection, only to realize that time has subtly changed you? The face staring back isn't quite the same as the one you remember. You notice the fine lines, the changing contours of your face, or the slight gray in your hair. It's not just your appearance that has shifted, it's the world around you. Relationships ebb and flow, the pace of life quickens, and the body you once trusted now moves with more caution, as if it no longer knows you. Aging, like the steady course of a river, is inevitable. It can feel like an uphill battle, one you may feel unprepared for. But what if I told you the real battle isn't against aging itself? The struggle lies in how we resist it. In Buddhist teachings, there's a profound truth. Suffering arises when we try to fight the natural flow of life. The Buddha often spoke of impermanence, the idea that everything in life is in a constant state of change. Change isn't something to fear, nor is it a punishment. Rather, it is the very essence of life itself. The fact that everything changes, including us, is the ultimate source of freedom. If we hold on too tightly to the past, trying to preserve moments that were never meant to last, we only trap ourselves in an endless cycle of fear and dissatisfaction. This is where the Buddha's wisdom truly shines. When we learn to flow with the changes of life rather than resist them, we step into a place of peace.
If this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content on prosperity, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. See you next time.
Take a moment to reflect on your own life. How often have you tried to freeze a moment, to hold on to a fleeting feeling, or to resist the inevitable? Perhaps it was a moment of happiness or even a younger version of yourself that you long to revisit. But aging, like all aspects of life, moves with grace. It's not about fighting the passage of time or wishing we could reverse it. It's about accepting that it is part of a much larger, more beautiful process. What if aging, instead of being something to dread, could become something to embrace? What if each line, each gray hair, and each moment of change was a reflection of wisdom gained, of experiences lived, and of lessons learned? Today, I want to share with you 5 profound Buddhist lessons about aging that will completely shift the way you perceive this natural process. These truths are not bitter or frightening, as society often portrays aging. Rather, they are powerful, liberating, and, when you truly understand them, even beautiful. Once you open your heart to these lessons, you will begin to experience aging not as a loss but as an unfolding of something deeper, richer, and more meaningful. Aging teaches us to let go of attachment to the past. It invites us to live more fully in the present moment, appreciating the fleeting nature of life. When we stop resisting the flow of time, we find that we are not losing ourselves but rather gaining new layers of meaning, new strengths, and new connections. Aging is a journey, not a destination, and each year adds a new chapter to the story of who we are becoming. The first lesson is this: you will be forgotten faster than you think, and that's okay. One of the hardest truths we must face as we grow older is that we will be forgotten sooner than we think. The career you spent years building, the home you poured your heart into, the stories you've told, and the relationships you've nurtured, they will all eventually fade from the memory of others. It may seem heartbreaking, but it's part of the natural course of life. In Buddhism, this reality is embraced as part of the doctrine of no self, the idea that the self, as we often understand it, is an illusion. We are not fixed, permanent beings. Just as waves rise and fall in the ocean, we too rise and fall. Our lives come and go, leaving behind ripples that merge into the vast, ever-flowing river of existence. The idea that we are static, that our name, our identity, and our achievements will remain forever, is a fallacy. This is the essence of impermanence. Everything changes, and that includes us. Instead of struggling to leave a permanent mark on the world, we are encouraged to fully immerse ourselves in the present moment, to embrace the fleeting nature of our existence, and to focus on being fully present with each passing breath. Our goal should not be to be remembered but to be alive in the moment, contributing to the world through our actions and kindness. The second lesson is, your body will betray you, so befriend it instead. As we age, our bodies change. The knees that once carried us effortlessly now protest at the slightest strain. The vitality we once took for granted seems to slip away. It's easy to feel a sense of loss or betrayal when our bodies no longer function as they once did. But the Buddha teaches us that this is merely nature at work. Just as a tree sheds its leaves in autumn, the body must change too. The problem is not aging itself, it's the attachment we have to youth. We cling to the version of ourselves that once was, resisting the inevitable changes that are a natural part of life. In that resistance, we find suffering. The path to peace is not in trying to control the uncontrollable but in learning to adapt with grace. Your body is not your enemy. It is your oldest companion, your faithful friend that has carried you through every chapter of your life. Instead of resenting your body for the changes it's going through, thank it for all it has done and continues to do for you. Aging well is not about trying to hold on to the past version of yourself. It's about caring for the person you are now, with patience, compassion, and understanding. The third lesson is, you can't keep everyone in your life, and that's natural. As we journey through life, people drift away. Friends who once felt inseparable become distant. Family members who used to call regularly become occasional visitors. Some people vanish without explanation, leaving only a quiet space where once there was joy. It's natural to feel a sense of loss or to wonder if you did something wrong. But Buddhism offers a different perspective. In Buddhist philosophy, everything is seen as impermanent. All things, relationships included, are in a constant state of flux. People come into our lives for a reason, and when their role in our story is fulfilled, they leave. This is not something to be feared or resented but something to be understood. Just as the seasons change, so do the people around us. Instead of clinging to what is no longer there, we must cherish those who remain, let them flow with life as they are meant to, and appreciate them for the moments they've shared with us. Aging teaches us that relationships evolve. Some fade gently like the setting sun, while others end abruptly like a storm passing through. But whether they fade slowly or end quickly, all relationships were meaningful during their time. Their presence was a gift, whether they were with you for years or just a season. The fourth lesson is, aging is not a loss, it's an unfolding. Each line, each gray hair, and each moment of change is a reflection of wisdom gained, of experiences lived, and of lessons learned. Aging is not about chasing after recognition or holding on to what has passed. It's about embracing the process of living. When we stop holding on so tightly to the illusion of permanence, we begin to see that the true beauty of life lies not in what we accumulate but in the relationships we form, the experiences we have, and the wisdom we gain along the way. Aging is a journey, not a destination, and each year adds a new chapter to the story of who we are becoming. The fifth and final lesson is, let go of the need for recognition. The desire to be immortalized in the minds of others is rooted in fear, the fear of being forgotten, of our lives having no meaning, of feeling insignificant. But when we release this attachment, when we focus not on how others will remember us but on how we can show up in each moment, we begin to create a different kind of legacy, one that is based on living fully in the present. Instead of striving to be immortalized in memory, focus on the impact you can have in the here and now. Be present with the people around you. Be kind. Be compassionate. And let your actions create ripples of goodness in the lives of others. This is how we leave a true legacy, one that transcends time and space. Each chapter of life brings with it the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to make room for new relationships, new experiences, and new connections. It's not about holding on to the past but about being present in the here and now. So, the next time you feel the sting of someone drifting away from your life, remember the river. Let go of the attachment to the past, accept the natural flow of life, and cherish those who remain. When you can do this, you will find that the relationships that matter most will stay with you, even if only in spirit. Let go with grace, honor what was, appreciate what is, and embrace what is yet to come. When you do this, you will understand that the love you have shared with others, whether in the past or present, is a force that transcends time and distance. It remains with you, woven into the very fabric of your being. This is the wisdom that aging offers us. Life is fleeting, but love is eternal. Keep your heart open, cherish the moments, and walk forward with peace. Every person who has come into your life has left an imprint, and in your heart, they will never truly leave. There comes a moment in life when you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, and for a brief second, you don't recognize the person staring back at you. The reflection shows a face that is different from the one you remember, with softer skin, gray hair, and hands that have become more delicate with time. In that moment, a question might arise in your mind: what happened to the person I used to be? You may even feel a wave of sadness or disappointment as you notice the changes that have occurred over the years. Society, after all, constantly reminds us that youth is the standard of beauty. Advertisements urge us to erase our wrinkles, to color our hair, to chase the fountain of youth at all costs. There is an unspoken pressure to resist aging, to remain forever young, and to maintain a certain appearance. But what if we could see aging differently? What if, instead of fighting the passage of time, we could embrace it and find beauty in the changes that come with it? What if we viewed each gray strand of hair and each wrinkle not as something to be ashamed of but as a symbol of wisdom, experience, and grace? Buddhist philosophy offers us a profound way to understand beauty, one that transcends the fleeting nature of physical appearance. According to Buddhist teachings, true beauty is not found in flawless skin or in the youth of the body but in wisdom, presence, and kindness. As we age, the beauty that emerges from within becomes more visible. The lines on our face are not flaws, they are the marks of a well-lived life. They tell the story of the laughter we've shared, the tears we've shed, the lessons we've learned, and the challenges we've faced. Our wrinkles are a reflection of the richness of our experience. Similarly, the gray hair that many people try to cover up is not something to be ashamed of. It is a crown of experience. Each gray strand represents a moment in time, a lesson learned, a story lived. In Buddhism, we are taught to see aging as a natural part of the cycle of life, not something to fear or resist. Aging is not a loss but a transformation. With each year, we gain not just more years but more depth, more understanding, and more compassion. There is a Zen story that beautifully illustrates this idea of transformation in aging. An elderly woman who had spent many years on her life's journey visited a master known for his wisdom. As she looked at herself in the mirror, she could not help but feel sorrow. Her face had changed, her hair had turned silver, and her skin had become lined with the passage of time. In her sadness, she said to the master, "I look in the mirror, and I do not recognize myself. My beauty has faded, my hair is silver, my skin is lined, and I feel invisible. What has happened to me?" The master smiled and led her out into the garden, where they stood together in silence. He pointed at a cherry blossom tree in full bloom, its petals soft and delicate, its color vibrant against the sky. He asked, "Do you see this tree? This is beauty, is it not?" The woman nodded, acknowledging the beauty of the tree. But then the master turned to her and took her to an ancient pine tree nearby. The pine tree was much older, its bark was weathered, its branches twisted with age. Its shape was not as perfect as the cherry blossom, but there was something dignified about it, something strong and wise. The master asked, "What about this tree?" The woman hesitated. "It is different," she said, "but there is something dignified about it, something strong." The master smiled and said, "That is because you have wisdom. A child may see beauty only in the delicate cherry blossom, but with time, we learn to appreciate the strength and wisdom in the pine tree. Your beauty has not faded, it has transformed." In that moment, the woman understood. She realized that, like the pine tree, her beauty had evolved. It was no longer about the youthful appearance of the cherry blossom. It was about the strength, dignity, and wisdom that comes with age. Aging does not erase beauty, it transforms it into something deeper and more meaningful. Think for a moment about the elders you admire in your life. Were they beautiful because they looked young? Or was their beauty found in the way they carried themselves with dignity, in the warmth of their hearts, in the wisdom in their eyes, the twinkle in their gaze, the way they listened with patience, the kindness in their voice? That is real beauty. It is a beauty that radiates from within, a beauty that cannot be captured by a photograph or a fleeting moment of youth. As we age, we come to realize that the most enduring beauty is not the kind that fades with time, it is the beauty that comes from experience, understanding, and compassion. The older we become, the more we understand the value of kindness, the importance of presence, and the depth of connection. This beauty, unlike physical beauty, only grows with time. Let go of the illusion that beauty fades as you grow older. Beauty transforms. In your later years, your beauty is found in the presence you bring to the world, the resilience you demonstrate, and the kindness you offer. Every wrinkle tells a story of strength, every silver strand of hair is a lesson learned, a life lived. The radiance of aging is a beauty that no cream, no dye, no product can replicate. Imagine if we saw every wrinkle as a story, every silver strand of hair as a lesson learned. Imagine if we celebrated the wisdom we've gained instead of mourning the youth we've left behind. There is a certain radiance that only comes with age, the confidence of knowing who you are, the strength of having endured life's storms, and the gentleness that comes from understanding others. This is the beauty that shines from within, a beauty that grows more powerful with every passing year. So, the next time you catch your reflection and feel tempted to lament what has been lost, pause. Look deeper. See the life you've lived, the love you've given, the wisdom you carry. Look at your wrinkles, your gray hair, your soft skin, and wear them with pride, like a garment woven with experience and grace. Because true beauty is not behind you, it is within you, right now, in this very moment. As we age, we learn that the essence of who we are does not reside in our appearance, it resides in the way we treat others, in the kindness we offer, in the wisdom we impart. We don't lose our beauty as we grow older, instead, we grow into a more profound version of it, one that is rich with meaning and purpose. The beauty that aging offers is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. It is the beauty of a life well lived. Aging is not a battle to be fought, it is a journey to be embraced. There is no need to resist it. When we understand that beauty is not about external appearances but about what we carry inside, we can begin to see aging in a new light. Aging is an opportunity to step into the fullness of who we are, to deepen our connection to the world, and to share the wisdom we've gathered over the years. As you grow older, you will come to see that beauty is not something to be chased, it is something to be honored. The lines on your face are a testament to the love and laughter you've shared. The gray in your hair is a crown of experience. Each moment that passes is a gift, and with each passing year, you become more beautiful, not because of the way you look but because of the way you live. When Kissa returned to the Buddha, she came to understand a profound truth: grief is universal. It is not a burden that belongs solely to us, but a shared experience that connects us all. Grief is a part of the human condition, a thread that binds us together in our collective journey. While loss is inevitable, the love we share with those who have passed does not fade with death. Instead, it continues to live within us, shaping who we are and guiding how we move through the world. Love, in its purest form, transcends the physical realm and lives on eternally. Take a moment to think about the people you have lost. Perhaps it was a parent whose laughter still echoes in your memory, a friend whose wisdom continues to guide you, or a partner whose love still influences how you love others. Though they may no longer be physically present, their absence does not mean they are gone. Their love remains within you, a constant presence that continues to shape your life. One of the greatest misconceptions about grief is the idea that we must move on from it. Society often tells us that time heals all wounds, but Buddhism offers a different perspective. Instead of moving on, we are encouraged to move forward, carrying with us the love, lessons, and essence of those we have lost. They are not gone, they live on in our hearts, our actions, and the way we show up in the world. Grief is a reflection of love. Have you ever experienced a moment when a scent, a song, or even a phrase brought someone back to life, even if just for a moment? Perhaps it was a song that reminded you of someone special, or a familiar scent that instantly transported you to a shared memory. In those moments, the person may not be physically present, but their presence lingers within you. This is the essence of love, its ability to transcend physical boundaries and exist in subtle, yet profound ways. Love is not confined to the physical world, it moves through us, persists, and carries on beyond the moments we shared with those we've lost. Grief is undoubtedly painful. It is one of the hardest emotions to carry, especially when it feels like a permanent ache in the heart. But it is also a testament to the depth of our love. The greater the love, the deeper the loss. While the pain of loss may never fully go away, we have the opportunity to transform that pain into gratitude. We can choose to focus not on what we have lost, but on what we were given. The time spent with our loved ones, the lessons they taught us, and the love they shared. Aging brings with it the inevitable experience of more loss. As the years pass, we may lose more people, and each loss can feel like a deeper wound. But there is a profound truth that emerges through this process. Aging means we have had the privilege to love deeply, to form connections that truly matter, and to carry forward the spirit of those who have touched our lives. Rather than seeing loss as a cruel thief, we can begin to see it as part of the cycle of life, a cycle that teaches us about the impermanence of all things and the importance of cherishing what we have while we have it. So, when you feel the weight of loss pressing on your heart, remember this: love never dies. It doesn't vanish with the passing of time or the end of a life. Love flows through you, through the kindness you offer to the world, through your actions, and through the way you carry the legacy of those who have passed. As long as you continue to love, those who have left this world remain a part of you. And in that love, they are never truly gone. The people we've lost have shaped us in ways we may not fully understand. The wisdom they imparted, the love they shared, and the experiences we had with them are woven into the fabric of who we are. Every time you speak their name, every time you reflect on their wisdom, or every time you pass on a lesson they taught you, they live on. The connection you shared remains, not as a memory, but as a living, breathing part of your existence. Grief may be a reminder of our loss, but it is also a reminder of the depth of our love. In this way, love is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a force that transcends time. When you love deeply, you create bonds that are not limited by the physical realm. Even after someone has passed, their influence